Wait, this is on air?
Are we going to start like this?
Yes.
Okay.
I need you to pay attention and listen closely. Okay. Because this is going to confirm some things. Okay? Yeah.
I need you to explain what it confirms when
No,
we're
you're
done.
just going to hear and then we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
This your boy Trey Songz, and you are now listening to the Magic Tone, Alicia P. Black Girl Podcast. What up? What up?
That's kind of litty. That's cute.
So you set that up with, and then
Wow.
y'all set it up?
No. He remembered the tone when he
Oh,
came.
Well, I didn't realize I was doing interviews.
So
That
I am
means can get
changing
mad
my
about, like,
Instagram
what
and Twitter
to
name
say.
to Magic Tone Leash 819.
Sounds like Magic Mike.
What?
Just saying.
Hey, Trey
No,
Songz,
but
we're
Rebecca
glad
set
you
it up
love
for
us.
me. I thought it would have been funny to
That was very
play
sweet.
that for y'all.
What else did? Explain to me what it confirmed. What did it confirm?
The tone, the magic.
Oh, we didn't believe in your tone.
No.
And Trey
So I
does.
needed to confirm with the four of you that Rebecca, what are these faces for?
I'm trying to understand what you're talking
Yeah, I'm
I'm like, where
It didn't confirm anything, goddammit. I just wanted to be very clear that it is
beautiful.
the magic tone and that
We
is it.
just give it up.
Thank you, Trey.
It's confirmed. It's
you,
here.
Trey.
Your phone is ringing, Gia.
Thank you. Oh, it's probably the food.
The food is here
That
already?
fast?
No, it's hello?
Hasn't made it as we
Be live.
Yes.
All right, guys. Anyway, welcome to the Black Girl Podcast. We are back.
Hi.
Hey,
The
y'all.
mac
Yo.
is made with celery.
No celery.
She said it's made with celery.
Can they
Mac
take
and
the
cheese is
celery
made
out?
out of
Cannot.
celery, nigga?
All right, fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait. You
They
getting
can-
mac and cheese with celery in it?
Okay.
I got a buffalo macaroni and cheese, and they can't take celery out of it. I
said
don't.
it's
Nah,
made
this
with,
gotta
like,
go.
Made with celery already.
Oh, that's that white shit.
It's gonna be good.
What is
Carrots,
that?
too.
Diani,
What is that
number
even?
two.
It's a
for
Haitian.
tonight.
So back to the
I
podcast.
have never had carrots in my macaroni
Haitian mac and cheese got celery in it?
Haitian mac and cheese has
Yes.
peppers and onions, and it's not made with macaroni. It's made with penne.
Facts.
It is
That
a
is
different
true.
type
It
of
is.
mac and cheese. Don't you drop your jaw.
But I've never had.
I'm
is
just
it-
learning
Carrots.
about
You
the new
try it.
culture.
Thank
was in-
you,
it
and
was-
good night, ma'am.
Yo, Diani, how was
Yes.
South Africa?
Welcome back.
Thank you so
happy
Your
you're back.
pictures were brown as hell. That skin was glowful.
It was amazing. I had a great time. It was I learned a lot. I learned a lot about African culture. Well, South African culture. That's where I was. I was in Joburg, and I went to Cape Town, and I also went to Johannesburg.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it was really beautiful. Changed my life. Learned a lot. If you are ever in Johannesburg, you have to go to the Apartheid Museum. It's so much stuff that you thought you knew. Like, you know, what you, Safira, no, if you went to a black school, you thought you
Right.
knew about apartheid. Fuck no. This
Really?
is nothing. Right.
That's crazy.
This is nothing. That's nothing compared to the shit that they have over there. It is insane. And it's heartbreaking, of course. And you can still see the oppression, sort of, you know what I'm saying, on all the undocumented people that were killed during this, during that. Wow. It's super sad. But other than that, the views are beautiful.
I was living through your pictures, like
yeah, the
every
views were
morning.
beautiful. The
Yeah,
views
what
were-
cliff was that you took the photo and the clouds were behind you?
Table Mountain.
Table Mountain.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
That was breathtaking.
We gotta post
Literally
this on
above the
Twitter.
clouds. That shit is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was really, really pretty. Cape Town is fucking beautiful.
So I'm gonna assume that's your favorite part of the trip. Cape Town was the favorite part of your
Cape
trip.
Town was, of course, Johannesburg was because I got to see all the animals and stuff, and I went on like 4 safari rides. One at 5 in the morning. Well, most of them were 5 in the morning, and then some of them were at 4:30, and I took all of them
Why 5 in the morning?
because they want to catch the
Sunrise.
animals. Well, yeah, but they want to catch the animals right when usually like the cats, lions, leopards,
Tigers,
all
yeah.
them. They're about to go home during that time.
Niggas
They
got
just finished
curfews.
killing somebody. Right? No, the sun comes up.
Is
They
that
like
the
to chill
alarm
out.
clock?
Their tour
Not a
is
snooze
over.
button? That's crazy.
So it was really dope. I had an amazing
Wait,
time.
tell us about the night where you said you were around too many young people and you
Oh,
felt.
no, guys. This is
About
a
Wi-Fi?
different- It's a different
Oh,
life.
no, don't do
Oh.
No, I wanted to tell you about it. It's called what?
that. I said, no, we're not going to do this.
No, I can talk about it.
Oh, okay.
So I decided, I was like, damn, I haven't gone out yet. It was another 2 young women that were with me, Danny and other name I can't remember right now, but we all hung out. We decided to go out, dress up, look nice, go to the city, dance on Cape Town, whatever. We go there, and the cab driver is like, "You sure you want to go to Long Street now?"
Wow.
I don't know about Long Street. I just knew that that's where all the parties were, and that's like the club. It looks like New Orleans. Like it looks really reminiscent of like New Orleans vibe. It's parties, bars everywhere, whatever. So going down, we can't even drive down the street because people in the streets drunk,
Yeah, that's New
pushing
Orleans.
parked cars,
What?
just doing stuff.
Time to go home.
You wasn't right. And I was like, oh God, I thought we were going to a grown party. And, he was explaining to me that, it gets crazy, so be careful of human trafficking. Then I heard a story.
Like it's just casual. Just be careful of human
Right,
trafficking. Like it's
right.
not
It's
unnatural.
like nothing. Or like the razors, how they'll cut under your bag to steal stuff out. Or if like it'll just drop out and then you wouldn't even notice. It just drops out, you pick it up and go. So then we heard a story about how women also are involved with the human trafficking, and like they'll talk to you and whatever and be like, "Oh, I smell so good, girl. I smell so good. Smell this. This is my new fragrance. Like, smell this." And it ends up being something that will knock you out.
That's so crazy.
That's nutso. So, and then they also have this this thing called Bluetooth thing. Listen to this.
This is
shit
insane.
here.
Bluetooth.
This is freaking insane.
Bluetooth thing. Yes. Crystal meth obviously is like something that's like really rampant over there. And they act as if
crazy.
it's like new. That's what the tourists had made it sound like it was a new thing.
Wow.
So people shoot it up, and since they don't have enough money, like, they're teenagers, whatever, they don't have enough money to buy enough for 2 people. One person will shoot it up. The other person, or do whatever it is, the other person will take the blood from the other person and inject it in themselves to feel the same high that they feel.
Jesus.
I don't
All right,
understand.
So they're
AIDS,
exchanging
HIV.
blood.
Yeah.
That's how you get HIV.
Right.
I don't understand why they would even think, hey, this is fun. Let's do this.
Not fun. They're thinking economically.
And it's just,
Ew.
but that's,
I mean, it is.
That's gross.
it's really sad because that's obviously effects of after the apartheid, when you essentially think of the whole thing in the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah, it's just it's so crazy. It was crazy. So we went to the club and we stayed there for literally 2.5 seconds, and we were like, "Yeah,
Nope.
we gonna just go home." 'Cause this is, and I think they can also tell that you're not from here. By the way we were dressed. Everybody had
Facts.
sneakers on, and this one day I decided to wear a fucking dress with heels.
I saw your
And-
picture, girl. I was like,
Yes,
"Let me
the
see
picture
any
was
heels."
good. Got it made custom.
I can't.
You don't know what I'm
money,
talking about. I'll
child.
post it for you again.
Again. Mhm.
But yeah, no, we went home. It took us literally 20 minutes. It was a 20-minute adventure, and I'll never go to Long Street again. That
So no
shit.
Long
They were pushing parked cars. I don't know if dude's car ain't work. I don't know if it was this nigga's car. I don't know what it was.
Must have been high
But
jack in the car.
They was livid in the streets. Like, couldn't drive. So
What?
other than that,
It was a good
it
time.
was cool. It was a good time. You don't need to party. And I learned you don't need to party everywhere you go.
I really
That's
don't ever.
I mean, after
Like,
that
child, I don't even need
experience,
to party in New
I'm
York.
gonna go with no.
Right. But just because you're like in a new place and you're like, oh, I want to go out and see what the clubs do. No. The clubs is the same. Maybe a little more aggressive than what we used to.
Go with a lot
He
more
aggressive in
aggressive.
these countries,
So,
dog.
oh, Lord. And that's another thing. I love African men. I do.
I was about to ask you.
Oh, they're very good looking.
Are they?
Yes. Send them on.
Jesus.
Look at Tiani's face, y'all.
How was the courtship though? Was the approach different?
Oh, I was about to say. It ain't. It's, first of all, they're very sweet in the beginning until you say, hey, no, I'm not from here. And also, I have a boyfriend. And also, you'll come up with anything. Like, no, I got one arm or whatever it is. But you
bother
just be
me.
like, they'd be like, no. You go, come on.
Mine now.
You go with me. Let's
They
go.
sound like they're from Philly.
Let's go to the party.
Philly dudes.
Like I was
Right, so
walking.
ain't much
there's
different than
They're just coming from Philly. That's all.
There's a mall, right? And they have like a club in there, and I was just standing outside the club, just looking at the people and just looking at
People
the
watching.
music. Yeah, just watching because I don't want to go inside and also make myself very awkward because I can't dance like them. They dance really good. Like everybody fucking dances,
Yeah,
and I
they
was
know
like,
how to
yeah,
dance.
they're really good. So I was like intimidated, and I was watching from outside, and the dude was like, no, come on. I was like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And every time a dude passed, no, come on, come with me, like come. I'm like, I
Jesus.
get it, I understand. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, I don't
wanna
want to
go
walk inside. I'm sorry. Okay, well, let's walk. I'm like, no, I don't walk. I'm all right here. But because also you're not from the place, you just don't want to make anybody upset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And since I'm not big on traveling, I'm not a big traveler. Like this is my third time being outside of the country. So I was like, yeah, I just got really, I'm like, this is a lot. Even though they're good, they're so good. The bone structure,
Really?
like, bro, the bone structure.
Taking some selfies.
So
Correct.
Diani
Native
is gripping
bone
onto the
structure.
microphone.
It is. And then you get to see,
The
like,
play-by-play.
of course, they have mixed people here. They have mixed people there. And Cape Town, got the mix.
Okay, so
mix.
if you go to South
The boys
Africa,
is
the
fine.
hotties are in Cape Town.
Mix. The hotties are everywhere.
But
The hotties
hotties
are
are-
everywhere. But Cape Town, if you're looking for a little, like, mixture, Cape Town's there.
Cape Town's where it's at.
Johannesburg, I seen the real. And yeah, Zulu, oh Lord, the Zulu tribe, man, let me tell you something. They're like, okay, yeah, that's it. They're just very, I like the aggression.
oh Lord,
I like
Clenching
how
Here
nuts.
she go.
because they don't play. They don't play.
So
And they
obviously
protect-
you would
yeah.
go back.
Oh yes, I would. Would I? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I was just about to say absolutely. And I hope that all of you guys get to. I bought you guys gifts. I totally forgot. I'm just gonna snitch. It's bracelets and whatever. It's made by the Zulu tribe.
I'm just gonna snitch.
And I'm a big Zulu fan now.
I'm just mimicking the music. I'm not doing bird calls.
Jesus.
So I got you guys all something. I thought that because all of you guys will be going to South Africa soon. That's what I thought. So I was like, I'll save the rest for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get them everything or whatever, but it's really dope, and I hope everybody have the same experience. I mean,
We gotta
or
talk to
better.
the South Africa
So where we
tourism
going
I
to
know.
next? What's the next country you want to go to? Where y'all trying to go?
What is
Anywhere but
everybody's like?
here.
What did you say?
I said anywhere but
Greece.
here.
That's my next
I would
thing.
Greece,
love
you
to
gotta
go to
take your boo
Greece.
with you.
I'd love to
Greece
go.
is romance.
Really?
city,
No, you
central.
don't.
That's what I heard.
I feel like pictures look better when you take a bunch of black girls.
Yeah.
Talk about
Anywhere.
it. With the blue
Anywhere,
sky
literally.
and like
Yeah, like for Instagram's sake, just let me take my friends because I can't post you. So
I'd
Yeah,
love
we
to
already
go
went over
to
this.
Thank
India,
you.
Bali.
really.
That, yeah.
It looks amazing.
It's such a rich culture, and then like the colors of the fabrics, and
They're
Eat, Pray,
beautiful.
Love was such a great movie.
It
and-
is.
We need to eat, pray, love in South Africa so people will go there
I know,
too.
right?
I really need to make it to Thailand. I need to go to Thailand. Thailand and Phuket.
That's so
Well,
far, my
Phuket,
man.
Fiji.
Oh,
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
want to go to Fiji.
Fiji is another thing. Yeah, these are far places, guys.
They are.
They are.
I have to
I
pray.
just haven't, I
far
faraway
equaling
lands.
expensive.
haven't been to Italy. I want to go to Italy. I haven't been to
yeah.
Italy.
Yeah, I heard they love black
women.
women there.
Yeah, I
For
heard
sure.
they crazy though. You gonna get robbed.
What?
Yeah, my sister's
Name a place
purse
where you
got
won't get
stolen.
robbed.
Right, that's
Oh
what I
my
said.
God.
That's
These are the facts.
anywhere.
But I mean, they're trained professional. Like you can look away for 3 seconds.
So are the men in
you're-
Times Square.
I ain't
That's a
never
fact.
been to Times Square.
That's a fact.
The men in Times. I mean,
I've
anywhere
been
that you're a
pickpocketed.
tourist, I think that people can spot you out and get you.
You saw
Oh,
your crooked
well.
cousins. Not yours, but in general.
I've never been. Never mind. I'm not gonna talk about it. But anyway, how y'all doing?
Yeah, I've been robbed. That ain't fun. In
Have
New
you?
York.
Haven't.
Yeah, I've been.
How
Well,
did you
not
get
robbed. I've
robbed?
been pickpocket
Ooh.
on the train. Yeah, they literally was like, it was in and out. It was pretty
What did
impressive.
they
What'd it
take?
take?
Your phone?
My wallet, my phone,
Get the fuck
my
outta
my
here.
iPod.
Was it all in
Were
one
you
bag? Like a
sleeping?
Ziploc? How they take everything at once?
Because I had my bag, and you know me. Y'all know me. I ain't gonna lock nothing up, zip it up, whatever. Take it, nigga. Like, it ain't that serious. So, I don't know. I was just standing on the train, and it was crowded, and I forgot to, like, check the back part.
Oh,
I know they
yeah.
took it from the back part. And
Damn.
I came out the train. I was like, let me look at my iPod. It was gone. Everything was gone. I was like, damn, all right, you won. That's it.
Right, what you gonna do at that
Damn.
point? Just take the
Yeah.
L.
I'd have been so mad.
Yeah.
Oh, I would wanted to have fought everybody on that train once you. When did you figure it out? Once you were off the platform?
Well,
Out of
when I got on, like, off on the platform from the train, I was like, yeah.
Jesus.
Don't. I just can't believe it. So yeah, that's it. And I've been stuck up before, so
Oh my God.
Sheesh.
in Atlanta.
by gunpoint?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Well, Alicia.
No, because I don't.
She is
Alicia,
dramatic.
let's talk about
Pause
this.
real quick.
Dramatic.
Let's pause the whole conversation real quick.
Question.
Why? No, this is a real issue. Why are you so damn dramatic?
For what?
By gunpoint, a female by gunpoint, that is so
Man.
excessive.
No,
it's not.
no.
It's a real thing.
Fam.
It happens.
Alicia.
Go ahead. I'm listening. So what? I'm concerned. So
Can you
what?
tell this story so we can move on to the next story? She can just be happy.
Right? It's like she needs to
Tell a
like,
down story.
What?
A lot of our people.
What? I hate y'all. Y'all don't respect me. Y'all don't love me.
If you hear me,
I
if you
need
hear
a
me,
new I need some new cast.
right? If you hear us hitting the table, it's because usually
Alicia's hitting the table.
Let me tell y'all a story.
Right.
What?
If we tell y'all, right?
Right off the top, we
Bring my
ain't
mom
mentioned
as the
Alicia.
first guest, and you'll see where I get it from. And then you'll be like,
It must be because
oh.
dead, even in text messages, Alicia will be like, you could be like, yo, let me tell y'all, girl, what happened? Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I just wanted to tell y'all I tripped. That's it. That's it.
Somebody, I found
That's
one
crazy. How?
on the ground.
You be like,
I
all
don't
right.
even know. My feet must have grown.
I was texting
Your
and
feet
walking.
grew. Yeah, Alicia, I'm
Texting and
sorry.
walking.
Y'all love me someday.
Anyway, guys,
We
yeah,
love you.
I
Let me
missed you
spit up on my
guys.
computer.
I missed you guys a lot.
We missed you too.
Really
Nene.
a lot.
I missed you guys a lot. I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw.
And shut up, Rebecca.
I'm
I
being
hate her.
genuine.
It is not genuine at
Yes, it
all.
was. 100%.
But I did. I was like, this would be a great trip to take with like your girls and your castmates. It'd be great to do so that we can have lots to talk about on this podcast. So yeah, that was it. It was really good.
Cool.
Other than that, what have you guys been doing?
Working.
Okay. And what else,
Working.
Gia?
Nothing. I've
You have nothing.
literally working
That's a good
and
thing.
traveling.
everybody's
Y'all know that's
case.
my real life. That's all I do, child. That's all I do. What y'all been up to?
That's all we all do. Literally, is work.
That's really all
It's
we
busy
better.
season right now.
We
All
gotta
it
do
is
picking
is
up.
work.
But now spring is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
now
let's
we
be
get
out.
to work outside.
Mm-hmm.
So things are different because we're excited to work and read outside and listen to music outside.
For sure.
Maybe
And
find
good
a
music
man
is going to be coming out.
outside.
This is the only season I like, so
Spring.
I gotta be excited about it. Yeah, because I fucking hate summer. That's too
hot.
trash. It's too hot for a
Intense.
It's too hot for somebody dies. Like I
Come
don't
on,
get
dies?
it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Life is too, and I don't like dresses. I don't like
I see you
skirts.
guys.
I see you dies. It's just too much.
I personally like summer. I like to go to the beach. So
I hate the beach.
Yeah.
Deanna, what don't you hate? How about that?
Wow, that's crazy.
Is there a short list?
I love everything,
But
but the beach. I hate the beach. I hate
And Thai
sand
food, my nigga.
in
Don't,
summer.
Don't
And
front.
Thai food is gross.
You haven't
Everything
even
tastes-
tried it yet.
Everything
I love
tastes like
Thai food.
peanuts.
Have you tried it?
I don't like it.
Have you tried it?
Yes.
No, you haven't. You lied.
I smelled it and it smells like peanuts. I'm cool. Anyway, guys,
I can't
we have to
about
talk
it.
about something very important. I want to talk about and bring it up because it just happened, and I was reading a bunch of comments about it. This Janet Jackson story, right? Janet. And I've been thinking about it because people not being real. I feel like nobody's being honest about staying for the money. So, right? Would you, let's say, right? you were in a relationship, you were married in a prenup, it says that after you stay for 5 years, you will get $500 million. You've already fallen out of love with this man by year 3. But now, you got 2 more years. What exactly do you do? Somebody, because
anybody.
No one's being real.
I'm
saying. But I mean, and so what I won't do. And I was watching Demetria. Did you see Demetria's video about this?
Shortly.
Yeah, like she was just talking about how like people are acting like Janet Jackson still isn't a legend. Like she still isn't the blueprint for basically every artist that we love. Like at the end of the day, Janet Jackson put in her time, put in her work. It would be different if she was a regular gold digger.
Why? Why is it different?
It would be different if she was a regular gold digger because then we could just be like, oh, she came up. But Janet's been here.
But she did come up. Either way, it's a come up.
She has her own money.
She has her own money. Like, this is just a nice little cushion for the baby. The baby is going to be the heir to a prince who's going to need that $500 million. He might have to go back and forth between London and where is the dad? Wassam live in the country. And he's going to need a PJ. He's going to need a private jet because people are going to be trying to ransom him. It's going to be a lot. I agree with the $500 million.
I agree with the $500 million.
I'm not going to sit here and hate on Janet Jackson. I'm sorry. I am a Janet
I feel like it's worthless. I mean, essentially, let's think about all the people who hop in and out of marriages. And, like, we don't always know what they get out of the whole thing. And that's dating back to Elizabeth Taylor, who had about 8 marriages. Jennifer Lopez hops in and out of marriages.
Yo, what does J-Lo be getting
that's
for
what I'm
real?
saying. Like, I don't see why this is such a big deal because it's Janet Jackson.
Because $500
Well, it's usually
million.
because Janet's very quiet about stuff like that. We all speculate about
True.
who she's dating and who she's intimate with and who she's married to. But now it's like, whoa, now you're married, now you're with child, now you're divorcing. It's a fucking trifecta. Like, it's just something to salivate over in the newsstands. It's just interesting for the time being. It's happened a million times.
I don't know the
before.
difference between like, oh, it's a legend and oh, it's a regular person. Because either way,
Yeah, and if there's
we don't
there's
know
really a
the
difference.
motive or the reason behind why Janet got married in the
Right.
first place and why a regular girl would get married in the first place. Either way, I'm a regular child. I get married and I'm unhappy on my 3rd year. I'm saying, all right, I got 2 years. You know,
I can
what's
do
up?
this.
It's a bid.
Retirement,
You know what I'm saying?
Waiting for Social Security.
Right. And you have a
Or
child.
staying longer at work if you part time and milking them extra hours.
Right.
If you don't have to. Like, people do it all the time. Is it different
Right.
because it's love now, or if it's another person? Or
I'm not judging Janet. I wish the men have been going
because they
in.
always
they sensitive
like,
about it. They don't like getting got.
But here's the thing: it's not your money. It's not your money.
And
But they can feel for the
Like
man.
the
They have to.
money.
They're feeling for the guy.
they're feeling. I mean,
Wassam-
just like we feel for Mary J. Blige.
Right.
I do. You know that
Yeah.
Ken Do has to take
$100,000 a month, boy.
a month for cheating on me,
No,
bro.
facts.
With your new artist.
With your new artist, which, wait a second, I was paying for. You understand? Everything, the recording studio hours, where she lives,
Just
the
the
clothes that she
disrespect.
wears, the food that she eats is off my dime.
And
My bad.
I have to pay for your.
And then
I
I
think
got
it's an audacious claim to make in court, but I don't think they're going to grant him that. Has that already? The
no,
judgment
it-
been
no,
made?
no, it hasn't been made, but still. And then on top of that, you know, the argument was, well, he helped her out. He was her manager. You know what I'm saying? He put a lot of money. He made a lot of money with her.
Where are the receipts?
You
When
know
it comes to
this.
business like this, that's easily foundable.
Right.
Like,
And-
let me see on the returns what exactly you was responsible for.
Mary J. Blige was already Mary J. Blige when she met old dude.
Facts. So
No one knew who Ken Do Isaacs was. People, every interview that she goes to, people are like, I only knew Ken Do through you. I
Right.
didn't even know he was.
Right.
Like,
And then,
he
like,
wasn't a big
People
name
try to
in the
make it sound like, oh no, but he was a drummer for Queen Latifah. I was like, well, wait.
How many times did Queen Latifah need him to drum?
because she's been an actress for the past 20 years.
Let's just think about that real
She's
quick.
been
Right.
on tour in years.
And they say though, add on that she was a drug addict and she was, you know, getting out of a very bad relationship. And also on top of that, she made it clear that she was not affectionate. She does not cook.
Who
Whole
said
bunch of
that?
stuff.
She said she was.
And
She
she
said
said that. Mm-hmm. Said, so what? I'm not affectionate. He knew. Well, he knew I wasn't affectionate. He said something like that.
facts though. If you knew that
I
going
mean, right,
in,
you married
Right, and that's my thing. You knew.
right.
You knew that you weren't going, that I wasn't going to be affectionate. You knew I wasn't going to cook. So what changed after 20 years?
I mean, it just all boils down to the fact that you
Whatever.
obviously married me because
The money.
I'm Mary J. Blige.
Right.
You think so? You didn't think he
At
just
the
loved
end,
her?
I
If
think
you
he
knew
put in
all-
that 10 years.
Did he just love her if he ended up cheating on her?
Well,
I mean,
that's
I don't
different.
Fell out of love. Just the same way we giving Janet the benefit of the doubt. You loved him, you might have fell out of 3 years, 3.5, 4 years.
Facts. Facts.
Like,
So-
I can't take this non-reciprocal relationship no more.
But Mary says she was moving on her own for the past like 5 years, like doing her own stuff for the past several years. So at the end of the day, like Flex was like, so how do you feel managing yourself? And she was like, it's not new. I do this all the time.
Oh
Like,
my God.
He was just around, but like I've been in my relationship by myself for the past several years. So at the end of the day, like I'm just ready to get this over with. If y'all watch any of the interviews Mary's been like,
She's been very
"Let's
transparent,
talk.
yeah.
I'm ready to talk about everything.
Right.
Let's talk about Jodeci.
She probably been done.
But
Yeah.
playing devil's advocate, do we not feel like he could have felt that way about her as well?
What you
like,
mean?
I feel like I'm in this relationship alone. I feel like I'm by myself
Probably.
or whatever the case may be.
It could be. And,
Mary
and
works.
that's where I feel bad. But if you feel that way, right? I don't know if he communicated it or not, but don't go around just having this side hoe with you paying for. You know
Have
what I'm
y'all-
saying? Leave me then.
Right.
Leave me, then do the dirty shit.
Have y'all ever felt alone?
Oh,
a
yes.
relationship?
Alone
Absolutely.
while in a relationship?
Yes.
I'd rather be with
Yes.
you. rather
Yes.
be with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Like, why am I here?
Well,
I mean, well, what are some of the things that, like, what happened?
When you're with somebody and then something in your life happens and you don't even, you should be able to share that moment with them instantly. And it's like, what's the point? I know I'm not gonna get the feedback I need. I know I'm not gonna get the support. I know I'm not gonna get
Facts.
I'm not gonna get fed. Like we can't rejoice in this together. It's like, why am I? You're supposed to be my partner in shit like this. If I can't share with you shit that makes me proud,
Facts.
that makes us proud, then what
Facts.
am I?
That's so crazy.
It's so
That's base to me. Like, and that's a vulnerable moment to be very. I don't know why shit like that, like being proud of yourself and giving yourself credit, is such like a delicate thing. But when you do finally let yourself feel that, you want to be able to feel that with somebody too. Like,
right.
I'm vulnerable right now. Like, I'm so proud I did this, babe. I know, like, you doing so good. I seen you. And remember when you said you didn't want to do it? Now look at you. Now, like, that conversation, I don't need you to, like, give me a gold star, but, like, remind me that I doubted myself sometimes.
Right.
You know, because there's not a lot of people in the world who's going to give you that conversation to keep it real. Like, no, you did that.
And that's a difference, because don't get it twisted. People will be like, oh, you don't need a man to validate you. It's not that. It's just like that tap on the shoulder or that push.
And not necessarily from me. I can get it from my friends, but if I'm in
Right,
a
right,
relationship
right.
with a man, where I would
Right.
expect
And in
that
the
two-way
other-
street.
And the other way where you have something really bad happen or something that's traumatic to you, not to them, but to you, and you just hope that they feel the way you feel because you're just so connected to them that you'd be like, all right, listen, I need you to support me right now. This is going on. And they don't hit you with, oh, you'll be good.
Right.
Because I've got that. That was, oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be good. You strong.
He's
you
strong.
good.
But that's
where I got my
I
confidence
hate
from.
that shit.
Because we get so caught up in black women are strong and we being strong by ourselves. And
Black girl
I think
magic.
there's like a meme where there's like, you so strong, and like the girl is like mad muscular or something stupid. But like, that is annoying as fuck.
Yeah, that line. If you're a black man listening to this right now, that is not. I get it. I get you're trying to empower and put the battery in our back. But when we need to be vulnerable and just want to collapse, sometimes we just want to collapse. Like, we just don't want to be strong at this moment. We want to be completely weak for 1 second, for like, give me 2 hours to get weak and then get back on my feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, moments of weakness when you take advantage of them. I mean, everyone has them, and I think it's interesting that people don't have when you can feel like you can be human. Like, people feel like
That's
it's
exactly what
almost-
it is. It's not even that I'm a woman
Yeah.
and I need time to be vulnerable and weak sometimes. It's I'm a human being and I crack.
Right.
Like, you will crack. Be there for me when I crack.
God,
I will crack.
And
that's
it's
the name of
okay
the
to
show. I will
Crack.
crack. Because you will crack.
And it's gonna happen more than once.
But what do we say to the people also who are in these relationships and want to get out, but feel like, oh, it'll be over soon. Like I won't feel alone soon. Maybe this is just a rough patch.
I won't feel alone soon.
I think there's a difference there because to really highlight, I think it's different when it comes to like actual. Everything is a relationship, but I think it's a difference between boyfriend, girlfriend, and marriage because marriages are hard to get out of. I do believe that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to relationships, you know when something is wrong. And we've said this several times before. Like it comes to a thing where like, are you playing yourself or are you not? And then it's like, how long are you really gonna play yourself? Because when you play yourself, other shit in your life starts messing up.
Talk about it.
And it's like, are you really gonna be hung up over something because you're playing yourself over it for so long that it's affecting every single relationship in your life? It's affecting every move that you make. You're holding yourself back. And honestly, I'm speaking from experience in that. I just dealt with something recently, and it was like, yo, kid. You gotta get out of this before it gets real messy.
Absolutely.
And it affects who you are as a person, who people see you are, your business, your brand, everything. Like I had to really sit down. I'm sorry. I had to really sit down and I was like, yo, Safira, you're holding on to a glimmer of hope.
That's the hardest part of it.
A glimmer, not even substantial, like
a glimmer of hope that it'll change. No, I had to be like, yo, this shit is whack. I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's a really universal feeling for a lot of women, especially because it ain't too much out here to just run to after, and you like, well, I guess I just put up with his shit because every nigga gonna have the same. Well, after a while, when people start to take you for granted to the point where you don't even feel like yourself and you can't even recognize yourself in the mirror, like that's when you know it's time to move on. Because I've been in situations where, like, I was in this situation in college and a little after college that shouldn't have gone after college. And I remember one of my friends sitting me down like, yo, are you brainwashed? Like, is there something wrong? Because you feel, because what the person that they know me to be is like, you know, black girl magic, like strong and fun and strong and fun and we got it. And then it's like, but who has you?
Right.
Like, who's feeding you?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, and she told me, you're going to get so drained, you're not going to even know who you are and what you think anymore. And by the end of that situation, I was a shell of myself. I had nothing left. No one, I was pouring so much into a person that didn't have it. Like, just couldn't, even if you're pouring into someone who's not ready to receive it, it's just going to fall through them. Like, they can't give it back. And you're doing it because you're thinking you're right.
Right.
But no, like, you really got to oh my God, taking care of yourself is so important. Even in relationships, like, my G, I need a week.
And the thing about that is, like, especially if you know, there are people who've been in multiple relationships, of course, obviously, but, like, one of the things that I was like thinking to myself is like, yo, don't be that girl again.
Yeah.
Don't be that girl that just is plain. Because I've been in a relationship where you pour every single part of you into someone and it's like you just said, it's just literally dropping off of them. And not that I felt like that was what was going on this time around, but it was just like, something's not right. You know.
Oh, yeah.
You know. And the older you get, it comes quicker, too.
Very fast.
You said something very key, G, and I think we should talk about it some more. You said take care of yourself in a relationship. How do you actually do that? Like, what do you think you would have to go through? How do we do that? The question
without
is
feeling
literally, how
guilty.
do you do that?
I think you
Without
take time
feeling
for your
guilty.
space. I think you take your space.
Yep.
Like, you remember your space. Like, you remember what it takes to be you, and stay around people who know you, like, so they can check you when you acting crazy. Like, my best friends would be like, hey, you still there? hey, we just want to make sure you're still there.
But what do you mean by taking space?
So
what do you mean?
So
hey,
okay,
babe,
so
I'm
what
not
are
gonna
you
see you this week because I need space.
Week?
Like, no.
A week is a long time.
No.
A
No, don't do that.
A week.
No,
Now, I mean, we
but
trying. If you
explain,
want to
like,
stay in
what
the
is
relationship,
space? Because when guys hear space, they're
Sometimes,
thinking a whole
no,
different type of
Sometimes
space.
you don't even have to
even say
tell them.
space.
Right. You don't have
Right.
to say it
I'm
like
just
that.
going to my favorite painting class again because that's what I used to like. Remember
Right.
who
Self-care.
you
So
are.
take
And
time for yourself.
People
is what
get
you're saying.
attached. People get attached to shit too quickly and too
Oh,
often,
Lord.
and they're very possessive. And it's like, well, we've become so routine in this, so this is what we do. But it's
Yes.
like, bitch, you was doing 10 other million things
Facts.
before it was. This is what we do.
Facts.
So it's a reality check. It's a self audit. Like, okay, perhaps I shouldn't like. That's why I said it's a difference with marriages and relationships. And even when you get into marriages, like, you don't have to always conform to every single thing that your husband is
Right.
doing.
You can
have
still
to-
be
yes,
yourself.
be
That's
yourself.
the reason why he is marrying
Two
you. That's
separate-
why
and-
you are marrying
exactly.
him
Right.
because
Yeah.
you guys are yourselves and you're individuals
And it was something
before
in
it
him.
became
I mean, it was
anything.
something in you that attracted him to
Right.
that. Like, he fell in love with you because you do X, Y, and Z,
Right.
and you're wonderful at doing all 10 million of those things
Right.
while standing there.
Right. And that's what I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty
think
of
we all are.
being the, oh, I have a boyfriend now, so I'm going to spend time
Time to
with
get
you.
comfortable.
Sorry, can't hang out this
Right.
weekend or next weekend or the week
Right,
after.
right. And people won't see me
Right.
for weekends because I don't want to do anything else but hang out with my boo.
Now, is that because it's a new thing you feel like?
It's a new thing,
the honeymoon
but
stage,
no.
or do you feel like throughout your whole relationship,
No, throughout. I
sometimes
mean,
you do that?
the longest relationship I had, I felt like I definitely dedicated a cool 75% to my ex. Just in it. Me just in it all the time. It affected my work. It affected me. And I still see myself doing that. I'm not even going to try to hold you or try to act like I don't do that now. I still do that where I'll be like, oh, I can afford to not do this or slack off on this because I want to pay attention to him.
Right.
And I should not do that. I have to learn. I don't know how. But like Gia said, it is, you got to take some time for yourself. But then you start thinking, like, if you do take time for yourself, then will he start feeling like
you don't need him.
you
So
don't
you have
need
those
him.
conversations.
And this is where
you don't let that not be discussed between y'all. If y'all feel like there's distance, have the conversation about distance and explain that I need to do these things to sustain my personhood. You should be doing things to sustain your personhood too. And
Go
when we
ball
have
every
time,
weekend.
we'll make the time. And
Right.
it'll be better time because we would have already been out in the world experiencing more individually and then bringing it back to home base to talk about it and to grow each
Exactly.
other.
'Cause
Right.
if y'all
Or come
always
with me to do this.
together-
You haven't done this before? You ever rock climb?
Right.
Y'all going this weekend. It's so
Yeah,
fun. Let's
I
go.
haven't done that. Like I don't do that.
that just sounds like a perfect world to me, though. I don't think that's a real thing to actually do. I don't
It's
know.
not-
Maybe
it's not crazy.
Maybe
No,
because
it's not
I also,
crazy.
for me, and this is just a personal thing for me. We talked about this before. I don't like doing certain things by myself. You love going to the movies by yourself.
Oh, I love it.
I can't do
I
that.
do.
It's my favorite
I-
thing.
yeah, well, I do.
I do.
Well, what are
Yeah.
y'all?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I did go to see what recently?
Get Out?
Logan by myself.
Logan was so
Logan
And I was like,
good.
I will do this 100 times over and over to go to the movie by
Over.
myself.
You ain't gotta explain.
Right.
nothing.
And
Logan
for
is
me,
so good.
past doing dinner by myself, it's hard for me to
I
want
love dinner
to
by myself.
do certain things like go to the movies by myself where I feel like I should have a quote unquote companion with
right.
me. So that's where when you say that does sound like a perfect world where you say you go out in the world, you do this. Boyfriend goes out into the world, you do that, and then we come back in the center, we say, hey.
It's about having your own
And I'm not
life.
saying that it's not
It's about
possible, but I'm
communication.
just saying that just for me, that just sounds like, damn, that would be the perfect world.
I don't know. I just feel like when people are, because obviously I've been single for extended periods of time, but like it's kind of one of those things where it's like, whoop, and not to sound like woe is me, but it's like, whoop, nobody else to do it with. I'm not gonna sit here in my funk and not go have fucking fun.
Relax.
Like,
Right.
I'm if I want to see Logan, I'm gonna go see it by
yeah.
myself.
'Cause
If
I'm-
nobody's available to do it,
Right.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. I will do everything by myself. I have no problem doing the most awkward shit alone because I enjoy being by myself. But whenever there is a person, it feels like whenever there's a person in my life, I have to automatically become this person where I'm like, oh, let's do this together. Let's do this together. Let's do this together. I have to be with him. I have to chill with him. I don't, and I'm saying like
That's
I don't.
natural. You want to go where it feels good.
Right, but then I start to feel like, then I get these moments where I'm like, I don't want to see you at all. I have those times.
And why don't you want to see him at all?
Because you know how you want to miss somebody?
Yeah.
And sometimes you miss missing that person, and you can see them. And then some, like in my situation, it was, I don't see you a lot. So when I do see you, it's like I gotta hang out with you as much as I can before you go away for another week or another 5 days or whatever it is. So the time that he spent here, it's like me and him, me and him, me and him, me and him, me and him. And also, I'm not a good communicator. So when I feel like you should know when it's time to separate, or you should know it's time to hang out together, you should just know.
Xavier Jones.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. And that's my problem. I have a communication problem. I just realized that in South Africa, I really do have a problem communicating with people.
Yikes.
It is
You
not
think, when you say people, you mean just everything.
people.
Everything.
People.
Friends,
Period.
strangers.
How I communicate, and sometimes how I don't communicate at all.
Right.
So how I feel about something will be turned into me being angry. And I think that has something to do with you being a black woman. I really don't, like, sometimes I'm not as angry as people seem.
We can't blame black womanhood
No,
on
no, no,
everything.
no.
Let's
Yeah,
not do
no,
that.
No, they do, because I'm not as angry as people may think I am. And then I start to really be like, why did you think I'm that mad? And then they'll be like, oh, no, you just look mad. No, that's not the case. I'm just black.
What?
And I'm a woman.
No, Deani, no. We're
I'm gonna
not
say
doing that.
Yeah, I am, because it's not. Sometimes people may think that I'm really angry at them.
So it has nothing to do with your own behavior
Yeah,
and what
I don't
you
think so either.
emit.
Not allowed to be
It's just that
mad
people
about.
see black when they see you, so they think strong because it's so synonymous. Well, angry because it's so synonymous.
You think so?
Like you can't escape it. That's what I'm asking you.
Oh yeah, I feel that way. Yes, sometimes I feel that way.
You don't
Sometimes
think
I
you
don't
walk
feel-
around with an angry face or get the fuck out my way demeanor and walk and
right? But
Deani's here.
Wait, right. But sometimes with how I say things, I feel like I'm saying them correctly. Like I'm saying it the right way, and it still will come off as I'm this mean bitch from a Cold War.
Oh my God.
Like it is not. I'm like, I'm not even that mean. And I know I get it. Like I have a way of being hot tempered and blah blah blah. I get it. But what I'm saying is, I obviously have a problem communicating with people. Everybody, everyone. So I've started to like not speak as much, not text people back, not answer calls, not have conversations.
You
with
ain't
people.
do that before.
Well, no. Now it's for a reason.
Oh, I'm like,
So
girl.
now it's for a reason. Now I just don't want to like talk to anybody because I got to figure this out. And I'm looking. Also, if you have any book suggestions on how to communicate, please let me know so I can read it. I looked up on articles. It was all these like white books. I mean, I guess I'll buy a white book, but whatever. Yeah.
But let's backtrack a little bit. Let's go back into the conversation about relationships. What are you willing to compromise in a relationship? Like, what do you think is something where you're like, okay, I know this is something that he may not like or I may not like, but I feel like I might have to compromise.
I'll tell you
on
this. If it's something that I feel really isn't good to my own person, if I feel like you need to stop yelling and jumping to conclusions so fast, and he hates the fact that I do that, it's really not a good trait to have as a person. So I might consider adjusting that for my own self. If it's, I don't like the fact that you don't eat meat, you only eat fish, nigga, what the fuck?
No, well, yeah, I'm not
What are you talking
saying-
about? Like, you should go into, I just heard this recently, you should go into, I mean, this kind of is not quite the conversation, but you should go into relationships with non-negotiables. And when you're in the relationship, don't negotiate them.
That is a
That's
true
exactly
thing.
who you are and who you're going to be to the end because it makes you happy.
That is
It makes
true.
you who you are.
Does it make you happy?
Yes. There are certain things that I do frequently that I love to do that makes me, you're not going to tell me to shut the fuck up if I'm singing in the house. I love,
whoa.
we're not verbally like aggressive
no,
like
that's
that.
abusive.
But
You don't
like
say that.
in that vein, you're not gonna tell me I don't like it when you sing because I sing just
no.
randomly.
Yes.
Right.
It makes me feel good. My father knows I'm not home if you don't hear somebody singing in the house.
Right.
Like that's how much I do it. Like he told me I'm a daddy's girl.
Can you sing?
Could you imagine?
No.
Could you imagine just walking in the house to hear Rebecca sing?
Oh no. We
This is
get
very
in the
young.
office. It's fine.
This is very young. I don't know. I think it's like a coping mechanism or something. Like it just
What
helps
do you
with
sing?
stress.
What are your
Anything and
latest
everything.
songs?
Anything and everything. I don't care. As long as I get something out. But if he has a problem with that, nah. That's my therapy to an extent. Like, if you have a problem with that, that's so much a part of me that, I don't know, we might not be good for each other.
Yeah.
Or we might have to live separately.
I do think what you said about non-negotiables is something that you should really try to train yourself on, because that is one thing I never did. I always was the type of person that's like, oh, well, maybe I should, or maybe it will get better, or maybe da-da-da-da, or I never had a standard, for lack of a better term, on what I would want in my relationship. And I think that's very important, because you tend to forget. You tend to get to a space where you're like, well, let's see if it'll change. Well, maybe if we talk about it more, things will get better. When deep down inside, you know shit is not going to get fixed.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel like you're playing yourself.
And that's what I'm saying. And there are but you probably have to go through these things to be like, bitch, you were wildin'. You knew that shit 3 years ago. You knew it on the first date. You probably should have let it go then.
On the first date.
Right? I mean, yeah. And I said that to y'all before, that on my first date with my ex, it was crazy. And exactly what I went through on my first date with my ex is exactly what I went through for the 4 years of my relationship. And I should have known. I should have been like, oh, well, I probably should have just left that day.
Pay attention.
Hey,
That's
I'm going
it.
to the bathroom. and I'll
Pay
leave you at the movie theater.
attention.
Pay
Let's
attention.
talk about that. What happens when you just don't see it?
You see it. Oh no, you
No,
see it.
you
No,
always see it.
You don't always see it.
you see it. You just don't want to see it.
Mhm.
Like
I
you
don't know.
peep it, but it's like I'm wildin'.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
And
saying.
I'm good at like I'm wildin'. Maybe I'm wildin'.
What are some things to look out for though?
Well, in terms of what are we talking about?
Just anything.
Anything. I don't know.
I mean, I think the way he talks to you is very important.
Very.
I think the way he treats the people around him is very important. I think the way he treats his mother is very important. I think those are just things you have to pay attention to. That's just my personal opinion.
I totally agree. I think the way you talk to anybody is important. I
His
need to see
temper.
how you act.
The way he deals with pressure. The way he just, these are real,
Yeah.
this is real shit that
Right.
you have to just really
How
pay attention to.
how fast he will get angry. That's one of
'Cause
mine.
that's a real thing.
Yeah, I have to
Temper
pay
is a
attention
real
to
thing.
it. Yeah, and possessiveness. I want to see.
possessiveness.
I would say the non-negotiables for me would have to be like, so like we were all just saying, like we enjoy being by ourselves, right? So not all the time, but our solitude is amazing. And there's this quote that says like, I'm only allowing you in my space if my time with you is sweeter than my solitude, like that type of thing. So if you don't make me feel better, or like if I would, as soon as I'm around you and I feel like I need to be by myself, there's a feeling there that I don't like, that's a non-negotiable. Like your energy, how it affects me, how I feel afterwards, how we interact, like the experience is a non-negotiable. Like if you make me feel like shit, like there's this guy who said that he liked me, but then would like make fun of me in ways that was like, okay, are we 12? Like what is happening here?
Some dudes are still 12.
Yeah, you cool, but like you ain't whatever. And like so, at first it's funny, but then after a while you're like, okay, the 14th time wasn't that funny. Like,
Right.
I have self-esteem that I need to uphold.
Right.
So after a while, I was like, dude, I'm just gonna start ignoring you. So I think again, if I'm happier by myself, if I feel like I have to leave your presence to get happy, that's a non-negotiable. Like I can't do all that.
Right.
You're tripping.
If I have to feel like I can't be myself, and with myself, I'm like, people know how silly I am. I am beyond goofy as fuck. So if I can't be goofy or silly, and I feel like I have to really restrain like literally be like this other person, I can't do it.
Right.
Because
At all.
eventually
You're
it
gonna
will
crack.
peak. It's gonna peak out. It's going to always peak out. And I've tried it. I've tried like the whole I'm going to. Sorry guys, if you hear that, it's Gia in her food. She ordered some food, so she is now talking on the phone.
I feel like
But yeah, that's what I have to
Well,
do.
yeah, I mean, if you really feeling like you really changing yourself and just you're not even who you are, that is just.
And that's sometimes not even his fault. It's like you just don't have my sense of humor. Sometimes we don't laugh at the same thing. So, like, and I can't. I like to laugh. I like to be very, very goofy and stupid. And do stupid stuff and laugh at very mean, cruel, stupid things. So if you don't, I can't. That's something I can't.
I feel like letting little white lies pass are signs that you should probably pay attention to. And not that you have to know every detail of someone's life, but like I don't know. It's just been a couple of things that I've experienced. Like, you can't just pack and go on a trip like it's nothing and think like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this, but I'm going to X, Y, and Z. So it's just certain things that you got to pay attention to, and just like feel like.
So having your own space or wanting your own space, that's entirely natural, correct? So how
Yes.
do you tell? Is
Do
it
you
really that
say
big
it?
of a problem when you tell your partner that I need space? Is it that foreign to them to know?
Would
You
you
think
like?
it's
Would you like to hear that?
But
I wouldn't like to hear it, but I would understand it.
But I also think men
I would
think of
understand
space as something completely different of what women think of space. I think once they hear space, they think in that 3 days that you need the space, that they about to run loose
You about to
and wild
throw your
out.
vagina
And
at every man.
exactly. So for me, the conversation of space gets a little tricky because it's like you might not understand what type of space that the type of space that I'm looking for. You might think the type of space I'm trying to get is messing with another man, because a lot of men are super insecure, and that's the first thing that they're absolutely
So
gonna
you don't
go
leave
think.
the conversation at I need space. You say I need space, meaning X, Y, and Z.
How about we find other words?
I don't
than
even think
space?
saying the word
Sometimes
space to a man is something
wanna
No,
you should
it's
do.
space. It's space.
I
Don't
wanna-
change what it is.
I think
it's
you're
space.
being.
I need distance
and
from
I
you.
kind
I
of think
know.
you're being a little like giving them a lot. Like, I think men can handle hearing space. I don't.
No, they can't.
No, they
I
cannot.
don't know.
Not the.
No, they can't. They
So
think
are we catering to the fact that men can hear space, or do we just need a man who can understand that?
Can man? I don't know one.
Can
I know
man.
a lot of
can
men.
men.
And if they hear any of their girls by choice would say, "Hey, I need space,"
So what if
You
a
know
guy
how
told you he
offended
needs space?
I would be offended.
That's what I think it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think that's what it is. We're thinking for them because, of course, we'd be offended. I don't know. I've never experienced telling a man like I need. I wouldn't say it in those words, but I've never experienced that, and the man got offended. It's just been, I'm gonna just do this today, and it's just been
Right.
like,
If I say I
okay.
need space,
It's never been
I don't
like,
care.
We're talking about the words "I need space," not "I'm gonna go do this without you today." We're talking about "I need,
Right, I
space"
need space.
as the term that you say
If
to
I
the
think-
man.
I don't
If I
think
say
it's
I
maybe
need
a I
space,
need.
I don't
space.
care.
I mean, I think that's part of like the introduction phase. Like you're having dinner, you're sitting across from each other, you're talking about your personalities and parts of you that you're just like, oh, I have this thing, or I like to do this. It should come out at that point. Like,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes
That's
as a
fine.
person, I need to recharge.
That's-
and it's not
that's
offensive
fine.
to who I'm with. It's just I know I need it for me because I run myself to the bone, and I'm not nice to be around
That's
when I'm
That's
at my
fine.
ends.
If you do that in the beginning,
That's
they're clear
amazing.
and aware of your personality and what you need to be
Yeah.
100% in this relationship. But we're talking about the relationship where you're 2-3 years in, or not even. You're a few months in, you're a year in, whatever. And out of nowhere, you're just like, you know what?
Like, he excited
I
to
just
see
need
you
a little
at
bit
home.
of
He's
space
like,
this
"Hey."
week.
And then you're like, you know what? I need space.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
What's wrong with like, okay, you coming home, we like, I know I'm happy to see you too, but my mind is just crazy. Can you just give me a few hours to myself? I just
People
need to
do that.
recharge. That's a conversation,
Right.
I do that.
and that's acceptable.
But I
agree.
don't
I
do
think
that.
that's fine.
I don't communicate it.
I'll just go away.
I'll just walk away. I'll just be like, okay, and probably just sit in the bathroom.
Well, you do it to yourself then.
on the floor.
He ain't doing shit.
No,
you
you
it to
doing all
yourself.
that dramatic shit.
On the bathroom floor, I just completely passed that part.
No, sometimes I really do. I do. Like, I have a lot going on in my mind at one time, and I can't focus if he's like talking to me, and I'm like, okay, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to make him feel like he's not important either, and that he's not needed or anything like that. So I'll just be like, deal with it, until like I'll be like, all right, I'm about to really lose it, so I gotta move.
You're
You know what I'm
sabotaging
saying?
yourself.
I'm
in
not
a
sabotaging
relationship.
I've just dealt with the most men I've had in my life, probably all, have always been what is it? I don't know how to communicate it. I'll come back to me.
She don't know how to communicate.
Right. It's just they haven't been that there for me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Supportive
All of the
is what
men
you're saying.
have never been, all of them, has never been really supportive about the traumatic things that happen in my life. Good things, of course, they're there. They're excited. They're happy for me, and I appreciate it. But I'm more involved in this traumatic shit that happens behind me and that tries to heel toe on my mind from time to time. And so I don't have much. I don't have whenever I tell one of them, you know, I had 3 boyfriends in my life, so I'm speaking about 3 of them. But three of them, they would all answer the same way, and I think it has to do with also something we can talk about, changing the man that you're interested in.
The type of man, yes.
The type of man, where they'll be like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was happening. You're so strong." All right, what are we gonna have for dinner? That kind of thing.
Oh no.
Know what I mean?
See, I was about to ask you.
Or they'll be like, this is a recent one. You're like, oh, damn, that's happening. That's crazy. Whoa. My elbow hurts so crazy right now. I promise that was what happened.
So it's like,
Whoa, my knee hurts.
but what type? Like, I don't.
And I don't know what it is. What is it that I'm like giving off where I'm like, I can't. I need you.
You're
right
probably
now.
not communicating that you need him right now because you probably feel like you don't want to be that vulnerable to that person.
But if I am that vulnerable, then if you really like, if I tell you that and then you don't, that doesn't change anything, then I'm gonna really feel like an asshole.
But you got to try it to know that that's how it's gonna happen.
You need to
can't
give yourself
just assume
answers. That's gonna give you an answer. Maybe to a question you didn't outright ask, but it's giving you answers, it's giving you directions, it's giving you information to know how to move post that incident. That's how he reacts to me feeling vulnerable. Like, if this is consistent, I don't need to be here. This is not what I need in this moment.
But you got to allow yourself to be vulnerable first in order to be able to say, hey, this is not this, even though you're supporting me, this might not be the support that I actually want. And that's another thing. He could be giving you 100% of what he thinks is support, and it's not the 100% that you want.
Facts.
Ooh, that's real.
So you got to really understand that too, that maybe you're just not as compatible as you thought you were, as much as you would want to be with this
That's
person.
crazy too.
because of
Because
that
somebody
level.
could love you so hard, but they don't love you the way you need to be
And
loved.
that's
it's
something
like,
and that's hard.
and that's bad, isn't it?
It's
That's bad.
hard
That's the
because you're
worst.
when you feel like you need to be with this person, and when you feel like everybody around you feels like you need to be with this person, family or whatever the case may be, you're just like, damn, what am I supposed to do? It's hard.
What is wrong with you? Why do you keep laughing?
Because I was about to ask something, but I don't.
Let it out.
Transparency is the number one key in this.
Not today. So.
I feel you.
It's just, I just can't. I'm thinking about a lot. I feel like deceitfulness is a real issue. And
You can't just throw that out there. But okay, deceitfulness, yay. I guess.
No,
I
yay.
I mean, not
Nay.
nay.
Yay for deceitfulness.
Deceitfulness.
It's an issue.
Yeah,
It's an
tweet it.
issue. People can deceive you in many ways. They can deceive you
Oof,
with
geez.
their sexuality. They can deceive you with their yes, their sexuality.
How they
Women
feel
and
about
men.
you.
Talk more about that.
People can deceive you with their sexuality. Like
does
they
that
can.
mean?
So a woman can enter a relationship knowing damn well that she is attracted to other women, but men can also enter a relationship knowing damn well that they're attracted to other men, and that's deceit. Like that's I think it's a real issue in our community, particularly Black people.
I don't think it's our community. I think
really-
a lot of us do that. I mean, a lot, like everybody. I'm talking about human race, not our community.
I want to
You
talk
don't-
about it. I want to talk about it,
Okay.
but I want to talk about it, but we might have to edit some of this out, Jeff. I want to talk about it, but I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out how to talk about it. That's it. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, well, let's interview you through it.
I like that.
Fine.
Okay.
Jeff, make sure this part is edited very well.
Gia.
Because she is the
Just be-
master. Look at her face. I want to talk through it because I'm sure there are listeners that
So obviously you've been going through something lately.
yes.
And a lot of us have been noticing that there are some things that are
Good
bothering
intro, Gia,
you.
Good intro.
And we want to know if you could speak on it a little bit about what is happening in your personal life that has you a little off balance. Because we don't like to see you like this.
Nope. I hate it.
So, I was dating this guy. And I thought things were going well. And it wasn't. And I realized that I was like playing myself. There's just a lot of things going on. And particularly, oh my God. And I'm so glad I had gone on that date that day. Thank you. Okay. But
Someone in here set you up on a date?
no,
Oh.
that's another story. But
Do you have other dates?
I was dating this guy. I thought things were going well, and they weren't. And I realized that I was playing myself. And we like had stopped doing things. Like we stopped dating, basically. And I was like, I don't want to do this no more. It's
Right.
whack. And then, like, that was it. He was not remorseful from that. It was just it. So then a few days passed, and I was discussing something with one of my friends, and I was just like, there's something not right about the situation. Like, who just gives up on a relationship like that? Who just, like,
Right, without a fight.
Right. And
Especially if you care.
something popped in my head to ask my friend the question. I'm like, just ask if you know of a specific app. And the app happened to be a gay man's dating app. And so my friend hit me to the whole thing, and I'm like, nah. Why does he have that app?
Right.
Like, that's super
This
weird.
is my man.
Right, like, I have everything. And you know what? I kind of want to talk from this perspective, I guess. Like, in going through this whole thing, and like when people lie to you about certain things, it really makes you look at yourself like, what the fuck did I give off that would let you?
It's not you.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I know it's not you, but that's something that I ask myself, like,
That's a
what
natural feeling
did
to
I
have.
give
Yeah, for
off
sure.
that would make you feel like you could pull that off with me?
Right.
So all in all, long story short, I found out the guy was gay. Listeners are probably going crazy. And it's just one of them things where you just be like, how the fuck did I miss that? No matter, and again, it was a whole, I don't even want to go into the story, but it was a whole like back and forth, and boiled down to the fact,
Eventually, he did come.
no, still, but like all the signs pointing,
Right.
stop, go, all of the
Right.
signs pointing to him being in question.
Throughout
So
the
it's just
process,
like,
did you ever feel an inkling, an intuition, a little feather tap? Nothing.
No.
And it's okay. I mean, that's fine. It's not something that, unfortunately, a lot of women, especially women of color, have had this experience. Especially if you live in DC, because it's a lot of, unfortunately.
In Atlanta, too.
I was
Like,
just
there's a
about to
lot
say
of
Atlanta.
people where they're not comfortable with the fact that they're into men. So they just try to hide it as much as they can. Little do they know they're risking not only our health, but just our trust and our
Right.
trust moving forward.
Right.
So tell me, now that you've kind of gone through the process and everything, what are you feeling right now? What are you feeling about this person? And then also, what are you feeling about moving forward in dating?
About the person,
Do you want to sit and have a conversation
No.
with this person?
no.
It's past that.
No.
Not
I don't.
even-
I don't feel like. What am I gonna say to you?
Well, just not even understand.
I don't want to. Here's the thing. I don't think I want to understand. But in moving forward, like with me, I guess it goes back to the whole like women are supposed to always be so strong. It's like, well, damn. How many times do I have to be so strong? Because that's it's one of those things. Like, what?
That's
Time
another
to just
one.
pull up your big girl pants and move forward,
Yeah.
be
Right.
strong again. But it's kind of like, how many times are you gonna have to do that? in relationships? How many times? And it's like, well, you have to do that all the time.
Yeah.
But then there's always that feeling of, I really just sometimes want to sit in this shit and be funky about it.
Yes.
And that's okay to do too.
And I mean, I don't have anything to say to him. I really don't, because
I don't even think, but I'm going to think selflessly and say that sometimes having a conversation with him will help him see how fucked up it actually was. And so just to clear and make sure everything is, I'm not sure if he's going to learn from it. I'm not sure if he's going to try to take anything from it, but to get that message through as to how fucked up it actually is, deceiving somebody like, you who actually spent time, you basically time. I'm big on time. You can't waste time like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how young you are. I don't really listen to you get young, you got time. No, nobody has time. We don't know when life will expire for anybody. So my thing is, just to get the point across to him so that hopefully he won't do this to another woman and think it's okay. Because I think honestly right now he think it's okay. And I'm not even sure. I think we all probably dated a guy that was gay or is gay or was bi and decided to, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I think either dated, we don't really know. But, finding out and then having to deal with this, I really feel like you would definitely, when you are a little over it, when it's not as sore, you should probably have, not even if you don't want to sit down, but a text message. And he'll take his time, trust he'll read it. And, say how fucked up it is to do that to another person. You know what I'm saying? These are human feelings. These are feelings.
Right.
We were involved. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like at least, later you should sit down and maybe it'd be some clarity for you too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would never think that it's a natural feeling, like Alicia said, to think that what the fuck am I giving off?
Sometimes it is that you're giving off something. Not to say that's your case in particular, but
I mean,
I think you should still go through that self-audit before you cancel it out. Is it not being the case? And just be truthful with yourself. And if you really feel like it's not me, then it's like, nah, you just a different type of nigga. You just different.
You fucked up.
You different.
You are fucked up.
And that's one thing I feel like we don't do is we don't give ourselves closure on any situation. I think we sometimes just decide to, okay, this is over, and we move forward and we don't respond anymore. And that's not a healthy thing either. Whether it's in friendships, relationships, situationships, siblingships, whatever situation. I think having a conversation and closing the situation with the conversation is something that we should start practicing, because leaving things open-ended, regardless if you know this or not, subconsciously eats at you. So you need to get into a space and get comfortable enough, even if it takes a few months from now, to just text them and be like, hey, I don't know what was happening in this time that we were doing this, but this is how it made me feel, and I just need to let that go.
Right.
And then leave it with him, and that's fine. And then now that's his thing now to deal with. Because at some point, he's going to have to let it go and let it out with him as well. He may have absolute feelings for you, but him not being truthful about his feelings with other things and not giving you the opportunity to see if you even wanted to deal with that is the problem. Because I'm sure there are women who are willing to deal with that, but that's not you.
But you
You
should
get
just
what I'm saying?
notify somebody of your status,
or just say it, because you guys were friends first, right?
Yeah, and then the thing,
Close friends
But
at
maybe
that.
he does not gonna say nothing because he hasn't said it to anybody.
Right.
But you just raised a valid point that can go for any type of relationship. I think a lot of times people make the decision for other people in relationships, whether they turn out being, no matter what it is.
Whether they want to date more than one person.
Whether people make decisions without the other party. Yeah. And it's like an inconsiderate feeling. It's selfish. But something that I do understand out of this whole thing is like, he doesn't know who he is to begin with.
Right.
So like, that is something that is helping me to just like, okay, Saphira, keep going. But then it's one of those things like we were just talking about in the beginning, like, you've been talking to somebody for like so long about all your plans and everything that you're doing. You entrusted this person with valuable information. And that's why I'm like, deceitfulness is such a deadly thing to relationships.
It is.
No matter what it is, whether the person's gay, whether the person's cheating, whether the person is keeping something from you, like, you're being deceitful to me, and I was vulnerable with you, and I did all of these things. Like, who are you? I don't even know who you are because you don't know who yourself is.
Right.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with like Alicia was saying, that you feeling like you gotta feel this, because I think you have to deal with it in a way that's healthy. Like you gotta go through it. That like you can't ignore it. You can't work through it, because first of all, these type of situations always, if you don't really deal with them, they always come back up in the future. But
you repeat what you don't repeat.
Exactly. So you gotta really, really like
what you don't
feel.
repair.
Yeah, you feel like if you feel like you
No,
want to
no.
take a
Quote?
break.
That is a quote.
That's good. You repeat what you don't repair.
I
But if
just
you
said
feel
that
like
to somebody
you
today.
need to like take a break, if you feel like you need to do whatever, we're here for you and we support you, and we're real friends outside of this podcast. The listeners may or may not know, but we love
Facts.
you, and we'll lift you up, and we'll be there if you need to cry. And ain't
What's
no
that?
thing. But at the
Facts?
end of the day, you know, you got to know that you are worth the
Yes.
greatest type of love. You are
Yes.
worth the most beautiful type of love, and you do not deserve what you went through.
Come on, Pastor
So at the end
Peppers.
of the day, you're going to be good. We got you regardless. I've been single for years, and I've been making it through, unfortunately, with my friends, unfortunately. But it's one of those things where it's like you got to really, you know, hold on to the people that love you and the people that know you, and this cannot define, you know, the next few of anything that happens. It's going to be a little obstacle because it's stupid what happened to you, but that's on him. You did everything that you could.
Yes.
And then you can't feel any other way about it. You did what you did. You should walk away feeling good about it, because your karma is still good. You
Oh,
good.
yes.
Now
That's
his
the
karma,
Let me tell you something.
look, huh?
Karma is a real,
Real.
fucking thing. And I hope, I don't wish nobody nothing,
Well,
do it.
badness.
Don't
but you
say it,
hope.
Lord.
But I just hope
Get out the whoopee
that
hands.
he's ready for the karma he is about to receive.
Until you do right by Farrah.
Right. Fact. Because that's
Everything you've
something
done.
I don't play with.
Ever.
I don't play with karma. It's a real thing. I don't know if you believe in God. I don't know if you believe in the moon and stars, but here's the thing, like, either way, the universe has a way of showing you
Yeah.
who really does this.
Yup.
So I think that, dude, you know, you did all you can do. And
You
like,
were all you could be.
right. And like Gia said,
helps.
this
Thank you. In
this
the army.
situation does not define you.
Yeah.
You know, your situations never define you.
What situation?
What really defines you is how you come out of it.
Absolutely.
Well,
So that's what you really need. You know, you need to be proud of. You did that.
Just make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to go through it and then have the conversation. And if he doesn't respond, that's fine as well.
Can I just object
you
and be
lo-
like, do you really even have to reach out to him for closure?
No.
I
And
don't
it's-
think
Because a
we
good
got
friend of
some-
mine was like, sometimes you got to find your own closure.
Talk about
Because it might
No,
not even be
No,
worth
for
it.
sure.
I don't even believe in closure for real. But I would say selflessly, when it involves like you doing it wrong to somebody else, like he could be doing this to somebody else and causing somebody. Once you get out of the phone, I'm not even saying right now. Once you get out of it and show him and write to him, you're really good at writing. So write to him how fucked up it actually was. Let me map it out to you. So that it was fucked up.
Point
And send
A.
it right.
But that's if you feel it. Obviously,
when
I'm
you're
speaking
ready.
on
No,
if
I
that's
get it.
what you want to do. If you have
Closure's
the
not a real thing.
smallest inclination of
Get your own
I
closure.
want to reach out to him to say something, then just do it.
I don't even
So
believe in
here's the thing.
closure.
I'm not sure that I will ever reach out to him.
Right.
But I have been writing things out. Like, you know, you guys just said, I do write it out. I feel like writing is one of the most therapeutic things for me. So I will continue writing things out. It's just a matter of going through the motions and actually feeling out the entire process of things.
I don't.
So-
I believe that. I totally understand. I don't believe in closure. That's another thing we can talk about for another day.
Yeah.
Closure, it does not exist. You can find your own closure. You can find your own peace of mind. I don't understand why I have to sit with an ex to find closure.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even understand it. Help me.
We could talk about it on, the
Yeah.
next episode because I
Yeah.
feel like that's gonna be another hour and a half.
Yeah.
But
it's okay to crack as long as you come back.
Okay, Pastor
Thank
Pepper.
you.
Yeah,
Gia.
what was that?
That dare slogan.
And also,
crack.
As long.
I guess it's okay to also tell somebody that you need them.
Oh,
I think that's big. You know, I know a lot of people may think that, oh, you're supposed to know how somebody feels. You're supposed to, you see it on their face, something's wrong or nothing's wrong. You see it on, you know, their face is fine. They're great. You should be able just to, if Safira, if you want to talk to somebody and you want to say, hey, I need to speak to you, that's okay. And that goes for the rest of us. You know, I don't know how many of us do that, can sit and ask. Not even ask, just tell somebody, I need you right now.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Thank you. That's another conversation also for another day, because I think everybody in this room struggles with it. So yeah, I just want to tell you that if you need anybody to talk to, you know you could talk to me, because I am the first person you want to talk to.
I am the most important person.
I am the
in
most
your life.
important.
Forget everyone else.
Right after you talk to God, you know who to call.
Oh, no.
Right? I said after God, bro.
Oh, no.
We missed her.
After God.
Got
You
close
back.
to them clouds in Africa. Just
roaring
thought she was up next.
disagreement.
That's what
Quick
happened.
question. I become somebody's godmother, right?
There
This
we
is just,
go.
I'm just on the God.
Uh-huh.
I'm somebody's godmother. Don't that make me more important than the mother?
Goodbye.
No. Think about it, though.
No.
I'm closest to God.
That's
What
not
I'm saying
bad,
is, you
bro.
call me
Thank
God.
you guys for tuning in
No,
to the
bro,
Black
listen.
Girl.
Nah, bro.
On that note,
Yo, do you know if you die, it's me now?
Traditionally,
actually-
but
Jay,
not
okay.
is you
I'm
a
just
Jay?
Even traditionally, that's
really
that's
I'll take
not
it
what
very
means.
seriously.
That's not what it was in the
It's
church
you and
of God.
Jace,
That if
No,
you
a
godparents
godmother is
die-
set to guide the child toward God.
From God. Yes, I will. And I will make it my priority.
Godmother, I'm a
Yeah, but you
to
ain't carrying
take
the
you to
baby.
God and lead you to the
listen,
water.
she
I
got
can't
close to
make
them
you
clouds
drink.
in Cape Town and she lost
now
it.
I'm
No,
That's
I'm
what
just
happened.
saying,
Yep.
when we talking about God,
How
what we
could
really
you
talking
ever
about?
put
God,
yourself
mom, like
before
I'm
the
Deani.
actual
bro,
mother who
but
gave
I
birth?
don't know even how to feel if my child, right? I
Deani.
appoint somebody as godmother, but you call him God, like
Everybody's
God.
face in the room is shaking.
All right,
their
I just
head.
went on the whole because I feel like I'm gonna be asked to be somebody's godmother soon.
Oh, you're not even a godmother yet?
Oh, no.
shut your
Wow.
mouth,
No,
bro.
but what I'm
The
saying
end
is this.
of Black Girl
I will
Pod
take it very
Episode 10, y'all.
seriously.
is right now.
And the duties of a godmother.
Please make somebody, Deani.
Say it again, Safira.
Wants to be
I'm
a
supposed
godmother.
to lead them to God.
Yes, that's it. Please, like send the
I
kids
am
to
the
Sunday
most
school.
important
Make
person.
sure that they get crosses on.
I am the
Easter.
most important
My
person.
Help them
godmother
pick
didn't
out
do
their
that.
confirmation saint name.
Here we go.
Pick out the bead for your first
No.
communion.
That's it.
Yo.
That is very
You're
important.
good.
That's a very important task.
Christ.
And also, I just
And I
can't
could
wait
so
to be
see you
some-
Ma'am.
leading that. I really
I will-
could.
I
Let's have this
lead it.
conversation when you are
She was Joan of Arc in
actually
her former life.
blessed to be a godmother.
Where's my lighter? Yeah,
We'll have this conversation when you become the godmother.
No, I am.
She's
I am.
putting it
I
out
feel
there.
it. They
She's
made a
coming.
Bye.
comment, and it's
Goodbye.
that.
Thanks,
I just want you
guys.
to know, guys, if
Tuning
you are a
in.
god
Thank
mom,
you guys for
to
listening
Black Girl
to Black Girl
Pod.
send some
Podcast.
tips. If you have any god mom tips,
Goodbye.
Let's do that.
send them to me.
Adios.
Thank you so
No.
much.
Do that.
I miss you guys.
I want to eat.
Episode 10.